Welcome back. Now to our next conversation. Recently, Samsung introduced a new revolutionary foldable phones, and they say they continue to lead the smartphone industry. Well, let's find out more with Solomon Oshebelo, master trainer of Samsung Electronics Nigeria. Great to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Morning. So Samsung is bringing back foldable phones. Yeah, what is outstanding with this new revolution?
Okay, so the market definitely has evolved beyond what we're used to, like 10 years ago. And the announcement of the two foldables, in this case, the Fold 3 and the Flip 3, has also set the pace for the industry. Now, it's not just about introducing products into the market because people probably want it. You also need to consider where the security aspect of this product also comes in. So we're on business morning, obviously, and you also want to know how good this product actually would be for business professionals. So one of the things that we put into consideration is the security of your content, your confidential documents, the kind of communication you're having on the devices with our Samsung Knox security. So both devices are not just stylish and trendy, they're not just productive in their own way, but they're also encrypted with a top grade security to actually guarantee that whatever the data that you're doing on the product, you don't have to worry about any form of breach or leakage of your information or whatsoever. So the market has actually gone, data is safe. Market is moving away from conventional smartphones. So we're leading the way right now with foldables, because foldable is going to become the next mainstream. So you can quote me on that.
Are you working with data providers and all that for you to be able to, you know, assure people that their data is actually safe?
Okay, so with Samsung Knox security, it's actually the type of layer that we've been testing for many, many years. It's not just a new solution that we just introduced on Samsung devices. We've been on it for many, many years. And it's actually a multi-layered security system that is built on our devices. And when we're talking about encryption, it's not just applied on software level, it's also applied on the hardware level. So there's a physical hardware that is built into the device that guarantees that whatever you're keeping safe on the device is not accessible by anyone without your own permission.
Okay, so you have this, your good is good enough tagline. What's that?
Oh, yes, I actually love this. Is good enough? I would make a simple explanation. So naturally, humans were meant to be aspirational. We are. So you find someone living in a one-room apartment, looking to rent a two-bedroom, and then after that, you're looking to a three-bedroom, and then you're looking to move to a duplex, and then you're thinking about owning a mansion. So the same way applies to when you actually have a smartphone that you're using currently. To you, you probably feel it does what you actually need. It's good enough, right? But then in Samsung, we're always working with visionaries. So we look at what are some of the things that actually will make your life a whole lot easier. And in this case, people want bigger smart screens on their smartphones, but they also want something that is durable enough and still comfortable to carry, which means it should be pocketable. So you have something that is actually this large in terms of screen size, but then it's still very, very pocketable in this aspect. So when we ask you if good is good enough, you're already answering the question by yourself, because you know that there's always the next best thing, which is what Samsung always brings.
So what's the best thing that you're giving us, apart from being so expensive, if at all?
Okay, so if you're talking about expensive, that means you're going towards the cost of the devices already. We're offering trade-in services, just to chip that in here, and also device financing for up to 12 months. The trading aspect is one of the things that we started doing that from last year, and it's received a lot of applause from our consumers in Nigeria, because you currently have a device that you're using. And definitely, people have been asking, where can I bring my device to actually trade this in and pick up the next best thing? In this case, we're moving towards the foldable. So we've opened that channel, and it's now possible for you to actually bring in some of your selected Samsung models. In this case, we're considering the S10 series, the S20, the S21, the Notes. And by the way, we're even trying to make sure that we bring our existing Notes users to the ecosystem of foldables, because this
so the Notes is the next. Also fold at some point.
This is the next. We are actually bringing our Notes users, existing Notes users, because you can even still use the S Pen functionalities on the Fold 3. So taking existing users to what you currently have and introducing you to what you're supposed to be using, which is the next thing in the industry.
All right, so looking at this phone right here, you know, Nigerians love their screen guards. So I'm wondering, how do you attach a screen guard to this? Or do you even need a screen guard?
Okay, so to start off, you don't need a screen guard. And then you definitely ask me why. Because you're wondering, how is this even folding in the first place? So to start off, this is actually glass. But it's a different type of technology in glass manufacturing. We call it UTG. It's ultra-thin glass. So it's built on a layer of polymer as well. I don't want to bore you with the technicalities, but if you're wondering how this is possible, this is where engineering genius actually comes in. And it's one thing we deliver in Samsung. And
so if this phone falls now on a hard ground,
that what will happen?
What happens?
So to cut this just a little bit, anything that is glass can break under the right pressure.
Okay.
But in terms of durability, what we've been able to do is improve up to 80% the durability of this display over its predecessor. And you can even fold and unfold for up to 200,000 times, which means if you fold and unfold this device 100 times in a day, you can do that for up to 4 years. And you don't have to worry about the display or worry about the screen.
No flex issues.
Nothing like that. You don't have to worry about it at all.
What about maintenance? And I know a lot of people talk about Samsung replacing the screen is more expensive than buying a new phone and things like that.
Okay, so it's also one of the feedbacks that we've gotten from consumers. And in Samsung, I must really be honest with you, we're very, very concerned about feedback from our consumers because we take them very seriously. They help us to become better at what we do. So we introduced Samsung Care Plus. So Samsung Care Plus is actually a screen guarantee insurance that guarantees that within the space of 1 year, if you have a damage to the screen, right, you only get to pay 20% of the value of it. Samsung is taking care of 80% of it. However, within the first 30 days of you picking up the device, you are recommended to actually register for the Samsung Care Plus service on the Samsung members application. This is pre-installed on the phone. It's not like you need to download it or anything. You don't need to do that. It is pre-installed. Or you can even register for it on www.samsungcareplus.com/AFR. So you're covered for a period of 1 year in case there's any sort of damage to the screen, but you need to register for the service first.
So register online, or do you have places where people can go get this phone, get your other products, you know, get information, and, you know, like you said, you want feedback and all that?
Yeah. Okay, so the devices, we are going to be starting pre-order. That's actually from September 6th to the 20th. And it's going to be available in all our Samsung authorized retail stores. But for this Samsung Care Plus I was talking about, you can register for it with the URL that I just mentioned. Once again, www.samsungcareplus.com/AFR. Or on the Samsung members application, which is pre-installed on the device itself. Well, you need to do that within 30 days.
30 days.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about, you know, assembly of these phones now. They're mostly assembled outside Nigeria. Are there any plans to, you know, have some kind of, you know, assembly plan for phones in Nigeria?
Nothing is impossible. That's one thing that we believe in Samsung.
Right.
Nothing is impossible. However, it's always one step at a time. So right now, there's so many things that needs to be put into consideration. And we know that we have a lot of consumers and a lot of users here in Nigeria. So we have factories that actually are situated outside of Nigeria, like you said, which is where manufacturing and assembling actually goes on. And it's been like that for a long time, and we continue to expand as well. It's not impossible to have one in Nigeria, but as of this moment, we don't have any in Nigeria currently.
So what's the plans for Samsung? Samsung for Nigeria, Samsung Nigeria, what's the bigger picture?
One of the things that I can guarantee you here is you can definitely be expecting top-notch products from Samsung, and not just products that we just decide to dish into the market, but products that addresses pain points of customers' usage, things that consumers really, really need, things that enhances your lifestyle, how it makes it easy for you to get things done, not just effectively, but also in a productive manner. That is one thing we guarantee in Samsung, and we always continue to deliver on this. Okay,
just before we let you go, can you show us the phone and some of the features that are outstanding?
And I'm curious about something. This front-facing camera.
Okay.
This one here. So you have that hole there, right?
It's actually not cut out in this case, surprisingly. It's not. So what we've been able to do in the case of this is that we use what we call a UDC. So UDC is an under-display camera, which means you cannot see the camera when it is actually on a black screen. It looks completely flush. We don't have a camera cut out right on the display, but it is buried under the screen. And this camera is intended not for selfies, but mostly for video calls and face unlock. Majorly. Because, you know, when you have an obstruction, when you have something covering this camera itself, when it's laying under the display, you don't expect it to be as sharp as something that is basically cut out right on the screen this way.
Okay, that's, how many megapixels is that?
So you have a 12 megapixel camera. So you have the normal for your ultra wide, where you want to capture like a very wide angle view of so many people. and you have another 12, which is for your main shot, for taking normal shots with your friends. And then you have the telephoto for when you want to actually move a bit closer to subject without leaving the space where you're standing. There's so many technicalities. I don't want to go into too many technicalities because we'll go back and forth on this for a long period of time. But in terms of functionality, there are so many things that you can do with this. So take, for example, I know we all have friends that don't know how to take pictures of us very well. You will take pictures of them in a very good way, but when you give them your phone, they don't take good pictures of you. But right now, if I'm pointing my camera at you, you can't see what I'm seeing. But when I do this, I can see exactly what you're seeing.
Okay.
So it's easy for me to use this kind of features to even control what I'm about to take by even letting you take the picture even without me taking it by myself.
Right.
Okay, and yet I can still control the quality and say, okay, you can take now or move this way and don't move this way.
Yes, you can. So all you just have to do is give it to them, say, hold it. Let me take the picture myself.
Right, just hold it.
Just hold it.
So another thing I'd like to know, I mean, we are broadcast journalists, and these days, you know, you don't necessarily have to wait for a camera. I'm on the field and something just happens and I need to get my phone and get some visuals. You know, what can I get with this?
Okay, so we have something that we actually call quick shots. In the case of the fold and also the flip, the power button here, when you press it twice, it launches the camera real quick. Now imagine if you're supposed to be having a meeting, you can simply just sit your phone on the table this way.
Right.
What usually happens in most cases is that when you are having meetings, because right now with the pandemic, most of us have resort to virtual meetings.
Right.
Yes.
As journalists as well, you're going out because your phone has become your mobile office. You want to record things like real quick. You don't have time to actually waste. But sometimes you're also looking for where to place your device, like a placeholder, where you want to conveniently hold like a meeting. But if you can set it up in sizes like this, between 90 and 115 degrees, it makes it a whole lot more convenient for you than having to look for where to actually place your device. And it's so comfortable.
Interesting.
It's so easy to do. Same thing applies to the flip as well. Too. The same thing. They just
so, Ini, what's your favorite? Which one is your?
Which one looks more feminine?
I think, I don't know. This one? And the color. What color is this?
Okay, so this is the cream. We call this the cream.
Cream.
Yeah. There are actually 4 different colors. So there's the black, there's the cream, there's the lavender, and then there's the green. So the flip 3, that is this.
Right.
And for the fold 3, we have the black, the army green, and silver for this.
Nice.
I know
I'll take this one.
Yeah, I guess that's much. I guess that's much.
All right, Solomon Oshibeluo, thank you so much,
Thank
Master Trainer at Samsung Electronics Nigeria. Thank you so much for sharing this new revolution with us. And we do hope that this will get into the hands of many Nigerians.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Because I know Nigerians love...
They love their phones.
They love their phones.
They actually do.
And like you noted, these days, the world has gone virtual. With or without COVID, things are new now. So we're going to need a whole lot of devices.
Gadgets,
yes, correct.
New tech.
Yes, to live up to expectation officials for our job. And, you know, we don't have to wait for the big cameras.
Exactly.
Correct.
Because
very correct.
So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
And enjoy the rest of your day. Well, let's go over to the markets now. Will Ibong is standing by.